There's a lot of things happening in gardens currently that might be baffling you. Flowers not opening or appearing stunted and deformed. Roses where the petals start falling off almost before the rose is fully opened. And the lack of colour suggests something's not right. And in my garden, I know what the problems are. They're microscopic insects, thrips and mites sucking the goodness out of my favourite flowers, spoiling summer displays. And I don't want to be spraying harmful chemicals all over my garden to try and get control of them. The good news is, I don't have to. And this is why, an hour north of Perth, I've travelled to Biological Services, the first commercial insectary to be established in Australia. They started back in 1971, ahead of their time, I'd say, and in 2014, they joined with West Australian insectary Manchill IPM Services, allowing them to offer 16 different biological agents to help control pests such as whitefly, thrips, mites, aphids, fungus gnats, red scale, and even the dreaded cabbage moth. The company has 7 highly skilled experts in the field, trained to provide consultation to the commercial industry on ways to control these pests in crops, avoiding the introduction of chemicals into the environment. Lachlan Chilman is one of those experts, recently developing a commercial system to control whitefly. Lachlan, how did you find yourself in the predatory insect business?
Yeah, I was lucky to study it at university, and I got some work experience in the field in Queensland, and it was just a passion I had to see the way the insects worked. And at that time, it was just the start of growers turning to IPM because the chemicals weren't working very well.
It all sort of starts here, though. This is an insectary. What is this?
So an insectary here is producing a range of insects and mites that we can mass produce for growers to use in horticulture and agriculture. So we have one insectary here in Western Australia and one in South Australia in Loxton. We produce around 22 different types of predators and parasites that we mass produce, and we supply them to growers throughout Australia.
From a consumer's point of view, when you're buying a crop from a grower that's been practising IPM, what does it mean?
Well, it means that there's definitely going to be a reduction in the chemical residual on the produce, and it's definitely going to mean that the toxicity to the chemical used is going to be much lower. Yeah, so it's a good indicator when people ask me about eating produce, or if I'm in a crop, is that I'm quite happy to eat a crop that's been run IPM, because if the predators that are minute, the size of a pin, are still surviving, it normally gives a really good indication that the produce that the grower is producing is really safe and healthy to eat.
What about the average home gardener? Can they get their hands on these beneficial insects?
Yeah, it certainly is. So we don't supply directly to the public, but we do have a number of garden stores that we work with closely around Australia that home gardeners can place the orders and receive the beneficials from the insectaries here where we produce them. So it's quite easy to do.
This has to be one of the most exciting innovations or initiatives that I've seen in my working career in horticulture. The idea of taking chemicals out of the environment and just bringing the balance back with Mother Nature doing what she does best, it just makes sense. If you want to do it yourself at home, then just check out this website and you can get started.